For nearly 2 decades, the question of how Leroy Jethro Gibbs got his boats out of his basement stood as one of the most enduring and beloved mysteries in the NCIS universe. It was a logistical puzzle that seemed to defy the laws of physics and architecture, a running gag that became as central to the character's mystique as his rules or his head slaps. Fans speculated endlessly, with theories ranging from the elaborate pulley systems, movable walls, hidden coal tunnels to the absurd disassembling the boat and reassembling it outside. The show itself leaned into the joke, with characters like Nick Torres noting that the theories were nuts, and the young Phineas directly asking Gibbs the question that was on everyone's mind. Even Mark Harmon, the man who played Gibbs for 19 seasons, was left in the dark, telling an outlet that he didn't know, and had simply arrived on set one day to find the boat gone. This enigma was a perfect encapsulation of Gibbs himself, a man of profound depth and quiet mystery, whose actions were guided by an internal logic that didn't always require explanation. The mystery officially came to an end in the season 19 episode, Great Wide Open, a landmark installment that also served as Mark Harmon's final full-time appearance on the show. In a subtle but definitive visual cue, FBI agent Alden Parker, played by Gary Cole, is seen searching Gibbs's basement and shines his flashlight on the fourth wall, a wall the audience had rarely seen. There, in plain sight, was a large, boat-shaped hole in the cinder blocks, as if it had been sledgehammered out. The implication was clear and surprisingly pragmatic. Gibbs simply knocked down the wall to get his boat out, and presumably, he would brick it back up once the boat was gone. It was a solution that was both elegantly simple and perfectly in character, suggesting a man who would do whatever was necessary to achieve his goal, even if it meant demolishing part of his own home. For many fans, this was enough of an answer, a satisfying explanation that solved the logistical puzzle without stripping away the character's aura of mystery. However, the story did not entirely end there. The definitive, canonical explanation for this long-running puzzle came years later, in 2026, when executive producer Scott Williams appeared on the Partners and Probies Asterisk podcast hosted by Brian Dietzen and Diona Reasonover. Williams, who had been with the show for some time, provided the behind-the-scenes context and the official resolution that fans had been waiting for. He confirmed that the mystery had been a point of internal discussion on the show as well, and that the team had finally addressed it on screen during a sequence involving Ziva's escape. Williams explained, "We think we explained it where he knocked out a wall. And he said something like, 'Well, how else would I get it out?'" This confirmed that the answer was always intended to be the most straightforward one. Gibbs was a man of action, and if a wall stood between him and his boat, he would simply remove the wall. Williams's explanation went beyond just the mechanics, delving into the philosophy behind the mystery and why the show's creators were never in a rush to solve it. He explained that the focus was never on the logistics of the boat's extraction but on the act of building it. It was one of those cool mysteries where they were happy to just kind of go, "Does it matter?" Williams said, reflecting on the show's attitude. He's enjoying building it, and there was something very sort of zen about it. It was like, getting it out of here doesn't matter. It's just the work I put into making it pretty down here. I like that. This perspective reframes the entire mystery, suggesting that the boat building was a form of meditation and personal therapy for Gibbs, a way to process his grief and find solace in craftsmanship. The question of how he removed the vessel was secondary to the profound, almost spiritual act of creation that took place in his basement. Williams's revelation adds a crucial layer to our understanding of Gibbs and the show's storytelling philosophy. It confirms that the NCIS writer's room was fully aware of the boat mystery and enjoyed the fan speculation, choosing to let it simmer as a charming and characteristic element of the series. The fact that the definitive answer was finally given not just through a visual clue in Great Wide Open, but explicitly confirmed by the executive producer himself, provides a sense of closure that is rare in television. It validates the curiosity of the fans while also reinforcing the show's core themes of character over plot. The real story was never about the mechanics of a boat leaving a basement, it was about the man who needed to build it. The mystery was a metaphor for Gibbs himself, impenetrable on the surface, yet built on a foundation of profound personal depth and simple, unyielding principles.